Hi guys, I'm back to do a collective destiny reading. I don't know why, but I felt called to do this, and I did a premeditation, and I'm going to tell you about that, and then I'm just going to pull some cards to see if I can get some more messages. So, for the collective, I saw like flowers like blossoming, which it's where I live in Maine. It's almost springtime, so things are starting to blossom. So I think it can be um, a symbol there of blossoming and growth. But also, like I saw, like right after I saw these flowers blossoming, I also saw like the yin and yang symbol, and uh, and what I saw with that was I saw that like one side was like dark and death and decay, which I think represents this virus and what's happening in the world. And then, obviously, and then the other side of that was the blossoming flowers. And I saw that they were simultaneously like going on, while they have their sides, there's still like a piece of both within the other, you know what I mean? So, um, it was kind of like coexisting, not like mixing together, but you had your yin side and your yang side, but they were like coexisting and working at the same time in the overall picture. Um and I think that is very symbolic of what's happening, because for a lot of people there's destruction and decay and death, and this is a very scary time. This is a time of loss, of uncertainty. So there's a lot of negative stuff going on. And at the same time, this is a great time for a lot of people, especially creative people, because now, if they're non essential and they're at home, they have so much time now to work on those creative projects, but it's not the same for everybody. Um, and what I ended up thinking about was like myself. I feel like both are going on within me. And then I got to thinking about, as above, so below. Like on the large scale, we have um, both some really negative and some really positive stuff happening simultaneously. And some are experiencing good stuff, and some are experiencing bad stuff. Um, and for me, like, I feel like I'm personally experiencing both, but it had me realizing that I think we all have that. And of course, we see it play out in different ways. Like what's going good for me might be going horrible for somebody else, and what's going horrible for me might be going great for somebody else. I mean, it's different in everyone's lives, but yeah, for me, I'm really struggling with some things. I've been scared. I've been full of anxiety and uncertainty, and then I've had some really great things happen at the same time. And so I'm like, balancing, you know, these energies, and there's definitely something dying off and decaying in my life personally, and there's definitely things blossoming in my life right now, and I know I'm in a great transition. Patience and uncertainty really bothers me, but I feel like it's a big lesson to push through this. And I think the most important thing is to focus on what is blossoming. And if you are struggling to see anything positive right now in your life, if you don't have something that is like clearly blossoming for you and something positive coming out of this, then try to focus on what you could make positive in this time. Sometimes you have to find a way to create something positive when you're not receiving anything. When, externally nothing positive is just happening for you, you have to say to yourself, okay, how can I make something positive happen? Um, Definitely self care is so important right now, and I'm struggling with this. I thought I was taking care of myself, but I really need to go on a deeper level with like meditation and routine. I'm not so great with routine, and so I've had it's been a struggle to get myself on some kind of schedule. And yeah, so like those are the messages I got. Like on the grand scale, this is happening. There's destruction, death, decay, and there's also like new things blossoming that are going to be wonderful and that's going to thrive. And we can't see how that's all going to work out once we get through this virus thing. It is uncertain, but we can focus on what is blossoming, and we can't just ignore the other side of things. We can't ignore the dark side of things. It doesn't make it go away. It doesn't make it better. The best thing we can do is yes, focus on what's positive and try to create more positivity, but also we have to work with that dark stuff. We have to accept that it's there, accept what's happening, be realistic about it, and move forward. And we need to understand that at all times there's this dark and light stuff going on, this death and decay, and this blossoming and birthing and renewing, and that's definitely what's going on right now. So I'm going to pull some cards to see if we can get any messages from Spirit, particularly about anything. We'll see what Spirit has to say about all this going on the macro and micro scale, what's going on collectively and personally, because I do think that as above, so below, like you'll see the same stuff going on in a different way for everyone, but still there's, the same rules apply to everyone. Even though we're not all going through the same thing, we're working with the same energies here, and we're just seeing it show up in different ways for each of us. So, messages. Sorry for rambling on for so long. I do that. Knight of Gabrielle. I like that. That looks nice. Especially like an angel's there in the background, like watching over. And I feel like Spirit is definitely watching over us in this time and is with us. Confident, enthusiastic, courageous, charismatic. Time to take action. Great passion for a cause. Instinctively knowing just what to do. So take intuitive action. If there's a decision that you've been wrestling with, if there's been something that you've been wanting to do and maybe hesitating, now is a good time to go for it, especially if you're like intuitively inspired to do it. Like sometimes, you're inspired to do something, it makes no sense, but now's the time to do it. Go for it. Another Gabriel. Page of Gabriel. Energetic, brave, optimistic, playful. Follow your passion. You are ready for any challenge, opportunities for excitement and adventure. So that's like 2 cards about do the damn thing. If you're thinking about starting something or moving forward with something, this is definitely a time of endings and new beginnings. I did a reading earlier that it was all about that. All about, endings and beginnings, and that yin and yang, the good and the bad. It's all working chaotically, perfectly together somehow. So definitely, take action. Do something. Do it. Spiritual union was at the bottom there. Triumph. Okay. All right, let's see this Psychic Tarot. Let's see if we can get any messages from Spirit. Patience. Oh. Oh, that's beautiful. And see the flower blossoming like I saw in my meditation. Yeah. So there's a lot of uncertainty. And this is definitely a time to, I think, not only be patient with this stuff playing out and the time that we're, kind of stuck in this stuff, but to also be patient with yourself. You don't have to change your life overnight. You don't have to begin something overnight. Take baby steps. That action can be baby steps. It can be just like planning. But be patient with yourself and take your time in planting these seeds. There's also 14, which a 1 is a beginning, a 4 is about stability and laying a foundation, and they equal 5, which is about change and sometimes challenge. So it can be challenging to be patient, but you're beginning to create a stable foundation, especially if you're taking action on something new. All right. Any other messages from the Psychic Tarot? This one likes to pop out. Maybe it's because my name is Destiny. All right, we got the Destiny card, which, okay, so my name's Destiny, and I was born on 10/10, and the Destiny is the 10 card. So it's just so interesting. But anyways, this is actually represents the Wheel of Fortune, and 10 represents like completion of a cycle, because you go from 1 to 10 in numerology, and then it starts back at 0 or 1. So 10 is about the end, like the accumulation of all the numbers before it. 10 is like the mastery of it and ending and going back to the beginning of something new. And this can be like fortune in your favor, the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor, which can mean that like something fruitful, something good is going to come. And again, with the Patience card and the action cards, take action, be patient with whatever you're trying to create, and fortune will come from it. And then I just saw this too. Positive movement forward. 8 is usually about like success. And positive movement forward. That's pretty self-explanatory. So definitely take that leap of faith. Start whatever it is, or take a baby step, and something good will come of it. Just be patient too. And then I'm going to do one more notes from the universe on love and connection. Actually, I might do an animal ally too. Real quick. Okay. I just love these cards. They're so beautiful. And even though it's like on love and connection, I feel like love notes from the universe, from spirit. Your loved ones, take it how it resonates. Can we get some messages? Yep, there we go. It's not only about being right. In all tests of character, when two viewpoints are pitted against each other, in the final analysis, the thing that will strike you the most is not who was right or wrong, strong or weak, wise or foolish, but who went to the greater length in considering the other's perspective. Do you agree? The universe. Or don't you agree? The universe. That is great, because that also goes back to that yin and yang, and how There's a lot of negative and positive in everything on the grand scale and inside all of us going on, but it's playing out differently for each of us. And in the end, I mean, it's not important like to point out who's right and who's wrong, but to try to reach understanding and try to find peace and coexistence and to balance these energies together, because it's not always going to be good and it's not always going to be bad. We have to balance these energies simultaneously and work with them both simultaneously in order to move forward and get positive results. And then last one for these, love is the reason. Each person in your life is there for a reason, and that reason always has something to do with love. Like me, the universe. Oh, that's sweet. Love is the reason for everything. All right. Last one I'm going to do is animal allies. Moose. It's like a main animal. Can we get a spirit animal message? Woo! Oh, that's like a lot. Ooh, I like that elephant. I'm going to keep that. Let's see if we can get one more. All right, you know what? I'm going to take that. I'm going to take the elephant and the scorpion as like maybe these two different energies that we're balancing. I don't know why. I just felt called to do that. One is very big and powerful and strong, but sweet. And one is so much smaller and probably easier to trap or kill, more vulnerable, but is also deadly and not so sweet. Interesting about those yin and yang energies and how they both have the opposite within each other too. Love it. All right, I will read the things real quick and that'll be it. Sorry. Okay, elephant. Deep feeling, compassion, family, loyalty, wisdom, and intelligence, both mental and emotional, strength, gentleness, and caring. Elephant can teach us to stay soft and calm despite our size or our situation, and to have compassion and love for all creatures, great and small. Nice. And then scorpion. Transformation. The death of something old so something new can be brought forth. Change on a soul level. Protection of self and those you love. Transformation and protection can be calm and smooth or chaotic and painful. The choice is up to you. Scorpion is about both solitude and passionate relationship, the ability to inspire and also the ability to sting with your words. Either or, both and. So that's definitely, I don't know, I think that's really awesome because, I mean, we have these yin and yang energies, and I think we all have them within us, and we're seeing these kind of energies play out globally right now, because we have this virus, which is death, destruction, transformation, but we also have this compassion and kindness that's also blossoming right now in the world. So we can't just get rid of this. This is here too. We have to balance them and work with them both simultaneously. We have to accept that this is here and just try to bring this out and focus on this while also nurturing and accepting the death and transformation that's happening right now. Because we can't just ignore it or wish it away. It's here. And it's really time to step up and grow together and get through this together. I hope everyone's doing all right. God bless.